Just the style. I just like doing it like this because we can see.
I see that cute face.
That I want to kiss. Last one to the airport buys breakfast. Day one. What is up, boys?
How we doing?
The crew actually has it. This is the first crew episode.
This is a cool episode.
Very exciting.
I want you guys to introduce yourself and say what you do on the show, and then we're getting into some dirt.
I had to take my shoes off for this one. I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah, you suck.
I love how the cameras were off. They're like, yo, this crazy shit happened. And then all of a sudden the episode starts and they're like,
All right, so my name's Corey. Some of y'all may know me as King Corey the First. Some of y'all may know me as McVeigh. Fuck it. But a lot of people don't know that I've been working for Power since the original B camera, dolly grip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cast and crewing here.
Dang.
GF, what up?
Mike Garofalo, they call me the Godfather. That's a sad story. We'll get into that later. As my nickname. Been around since season 1 of Power, and 9 years. 90 episodes of the show.
Wow.
And
God damn.
yeah, man. It's a lot of shit. From the beginning. Been with Mike from the beginning, which is fucking awesome. And it's great to be amongst all you guys and having some wonderful conversation, you know.
hell yes.
I give it a backstory. Span over here now.
I'm chilling. I'm KB. I'm the mayor. I'm the mayor of Rose.
Big KB.
Dolly grip, key grip, shop steward. I'm KB.
Tell them what you do. So tell them as a grip,
As a grip,
just to help out a little bit.
I help him look good and him look good.
Thank you.
And push a dolly to make them look even good too.
The camera.
The camera.
Yeah.
For this
Lights.
guy. Set up, yeah. We well, the
magic.
technical term is we augment light.
Right.
That's the technical
Bend it,
term.
shape it.
We bend it, shape it.
When was your first day, KB?
My first day was the first season of Ghost.
First season of Ghost.
First season of Ghost. Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you a story. So we were shooting, and we were outside in a parking lot, and Michael was doing his shot, and he who was it? Who was the dude that was the barber at the time that was cutting your hair? The black guy.
Oh, King.
King, with his King. So he said, I'm like, yo, who is this motherfucker standing right there? And you kept looking my way, but I'm looking past you like, and he's standing back here with a cigar, and I'm like, yo, he's in the shot. And you looked at me, you was like, yo, why the fuck is he keep staring at me? Yeah. That was the first day I met him. He's like, why the fuck is he? I said, nah, I was like, yo, I wasn't staring at him. I was staring past him. The guy was in the shot. That's the first interaction I had with Michael.
Yo, that's crazy.
First fucking interaction.
Wait, do you remember our first interaction or no?
The first is, no, you're just a funny motherfucker. You're always making people laugh.
So you don't really remember like your first instance with him, like, cause it's just
because I think I kept laughing at you. Right. That was just it. Every time you came on set, it was just
That's the goal.
He always has a punchline.
Yeah.
For everything.
Keep it light.
For everything.
Okay, 'cause
naturally.
Because listen, you guys are there hours before us.
Right.
We go through hair and makeup, this and that, but we just sit there while people are working on us. You guys are setting up. So my goal when I get to set is I want to make the crew laugh immediately.
Right.
I want to put everyone in a good mood. I want it to be a good morale for the day.
Keeps the crew light. Keeps everyone.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I have a story about Shane. Before I even knew Shane, and I wonder if he remembers this. I was pushing Dolly. I didn't know him, never said a word to him, and right before his take, right before they yelled action, he gave me the finger. He just looked at me. he was like in character, and then he looked at me and was like.
Shane Johnson plays Cooper Sax, by the way.
Shout out to Shane.
That is hilarious.
And now that's my guy.
Yeah.
The interaction with the crew, of the cast is always great. I mean, what I do as a focus puller is keep you guys sharp, keep you guys in focus, and it's a hard job.
Right.
Because it's severely really technical. And what I do, you can't show up to work with a hangover.
Right.
You can't come down like, yeah, I'm gonna like just dial this day in. If you're not on point, then you're gonna be soft in the shot, not in focus. Editor can't use the scene, and eventually you're gonna get iced.
Right.
You're gonna get iced hotel. You're gonna be like, yo.
Not only do they kill actors, they kill crew members too.
Facts.
So, that's an important part of this. And having like, it's such an intense job, but also like, when we're not rolling, have some fun.
Right.
Have some laughs. Talk some shit. Tell some stories.
Right.
Because it's a family. What we all do on the show during these long days is we're with the crew and the cast more than with our families.
That's true.
70 hours a week.
True.
And you have to love everyone you work with. So when you hire somebody, I would say when you slip the ring on, you better be sure you know who you're getting involved with.
Right.
First interview,
so
cool.
true.
Like 2 weeks in, this dude's fucking crazy.
Your reputation in this
And
business
but
is
in the
crazy.
business, once you get involved, it's very hard to ice somebody. It's like, sitting there working out. It's like, but be careful who you hire. You have to really know it's a family. It's a family deal.
Right.
Be careful who you let in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so having said that, you get a good crew and you go for 135 days.
Right.
Through the winter,
bro.
you're freezing your ass off. We just shot in Fort Greene. How hot was it? 81 degrees at night.
Right.
I mean, you're out there.
Bro, yeah.
This is what I thought because I seriously think bad apples can tank a whole show.
Yes.
Regardless of how good the
man.
scripts are, how good the actors are. Because we played softball together as a crew yesterday.
Right.
Everyone showed up.
Exactly.
And I was like, I don't think there's any shows that like are as close as we are. But I think about how, like, all the series all the actors showed up. Most people won't do that. They'd be like, nah, I'm too good for that, this and that. Most of us showed up.
Right.
So I was thinking,
It
like,
was fun as hell, too.
was
right,
fun.
if you have a bad apple that comes on set, this and that, it really tanks your show. And you see all the chemistry
It
with
brings
us.
down the morale
Right.
of everybody.
Well, let me tell you, the business has changed. I graduated film school in '84. I went to SVA in the city. So I graduated my first year of School of Visual Arts on 23rd Street. My first year, I was, just got in, and it was in the Cotton Club, was shooting down the street, and I was just a kid, in first year of college, film school, and the big lights were up, and I went up to the window, I put my eyes on the windows, because it was dark inside, and I looked in, see what was going on. I was so enamored, so excited, and some guy came out with like greasy white hair. Hey, the fuck you doing? Get the fuck out of here. I was like, yo, just get the fuck out of here. And that's how it was back in the day. You weren't getting in unless you knew somebody.
Yeah.
It was a family. And then as things progressed, it got, it opened up for everybody. But also back in the day, it was a wild, wild west. Music videos. I did some of the craziest videos back in the day. Wu-Tang Clan, Nothing to Fuck With. I did all those videos. LL Cool J, Big Pimpin', Missy Elliott, DMX.
All the
You
shit
just
I
showed
danced
up
to.
and, you got through the day. But it was people showed up sometimes with like guns in the rack of the pickup truck, or you hired a DP. I had this one guy who was a foreigner video of all the old school hits, or a rock and roll band from the past. But we show up, I'm at the rental house and I get a phone call. Hey, it's for you. It's the DP on the phone, wants to talk to you. So I got on the phone. Hey, hello. How you doing? It's the Godfather. It's Tony. He was, hey, how's the camera package? I'm like, it's good. I was a kid. I was a greenhorn. Just my first rock and roll music video. He goes, you got the nets? You gonna net the lenses? What most DPs, what some DPs would do is they get a lens, a film lens, and they put a net on the back element, and it would act like a diffusion, like a Fagall 110 was a famous stock. And goes, do me a favor. Go into your girlfriend's night table, take out some of her stockings, and cut out this little piece of the netting, and put on all the lenses. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking net the lenses, And then he hung up on me, and he was actually at the time a pretty big DP. This guy, and then I showed up, goes, how the lenses doing? I'm like, what do you mean how the lenses? Did you net them? I'm like, what do you mean net the lens? He goes, I got it. Let's go. And he grabbed the camera, and we started shooting with this dude, and all of a sudden, all right, cut. The song went in, and he fucking threw the camera. And I was like right behind him, and I caught the camera like on my, first of all, he showed up with sunglasses on in the stage. Anyone that rolls up in the morning with sunglasses on, you're in trouble. You can't.
That's me every morning now.
And then,
Definitely do be pulling up with this.
we grabbed the camera, so you acclimate. When you're a kid and you're coming up in the industry, you put up a lot of shit. Guy throws the camera, and then someone from like a makeup woman said, hey, come here. He throws the camera, so when you're done, just be ready to grab. It was a metal camera, it was a film camera.
And how much are those worth?
What's that? Oh, it's like, 55, 60 pounds, all metal.
How much are they worth? Like,
like at the time, like, $100,000. That's
what
not
I'm saying.
more.
Just-
They were highly technical cameras.
just throwing it
And
back.
he's just throwing that shit.
So he was doing
Throwing it back.
He was doing
Throwing
a
it
shot.
back. Hey, yo.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, bro?
Just shut. And that was his thing. Tony throws the camera. Fuck you, Tony throws the camera. Fuck you, I'll throw it back, and now I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
There goes the camera. Okay. Call around.
Let that shit drop.
Gary yells, cut, throws the camera.
But people got away with that. The old school guys didn't really care.
Right.
There would be some bullshit. And then the last shot was on a crane. Jack Daniels between his legs, no head, just hand holding the camera. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Screaming, cut. Like, okay, this fucking guy's out of his mind. But you had all personalities.
Right.
There was always like an element of like some booze around and drugs around back in the day. And most videos were anywhere from 18 to 26. When the Houston was 26 hours. I mean, you could do it when you were young,
Right.
but you had to have some serious stamina.
Cocaine with you.
Yeah. You just go. On Wu-Tang Clan's video,
That's why they paid
we
him in
started like in
cocaine.
Brooklyn. We went to Staten Island, came back to Brooklyn. We shot like an assault mine, a salt pit, where they keep all the salt during the winter, shooting through flame bars. And the band's like, yo, we're going to like Fort Greene or something. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like fucking 8 in the morning. We've been going since like 8 in the last 24 hours.
Right.
And then the producer would come on and say, we're done. We're out of here. But, you had to be on your toes. And it was always a cool vibe. There was a couple of vibes where there was some gunplay and some things went down.
What was
but
like the craziest shit you've experienced, like doing a movie?
there was always crazy stuff going on. I mean,
Tell him
we
about the
were-
one you said before, the other day.
Well, we
When we was at lunch, right?
at lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like so many. The book's thick. I'll say one thing. We were doing Big Pimpin' video, and they sent me on a boat with this little ex-director to do some B-roll stuff. And they were on the yacht doing the main stuff. So Mikey G, go on the boat with Lil X and some other guys and shoot it was all film. Shoot the boat and just do wraparounds. They rented this $1 million yacht. So, okay, we were on this little boat. And then at some point, the Lil X, I'm getting bored. I'm going back on the yacht. So the good thing back in the day, you could do creative stuff and no one would ever yell at you. Even as a camera assistant, what I do, I wasn't an operator or a DP, but you saw something, you seized the moment. You knew if it was good, they were going to use it. So we're in the boat and there's 2 big Mercury motors and we had the camera pointed at the yacht and the DP left, director left. I go to the guy driving the boat, do me a favor. When I tell you, go like 100 miles an hour on the boat. And I pointed the camera at the yacht. When I say go, and I had the camera pointed at the yacht, hit the Mercuries, and all of a sudden you see the water, shooting out the back of the boat, and we're getting away from the boat. It was a fucking good, 120 frames, beautiful slow motion shot. Cut to like a month later, see the video, boom, 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 and all of a sudden there's my shot opening the video.
Fire.
And it was like, because if you did
It's a
something
good
that
feeling, right?
it was a great feeling.
That's
I
a good
saw
feeling right
something,
there.
and the editor saw it in the dailies, and he used it. So, it was also like, I worked with this DP one time, we'd do a video, I did hundreds of videos with this guy. I would see a shot, like we're in Toronto, and this kid came off this glass box. We're shooting in the middle of the city, this glass box, and this kid came up to the window. I'm like, yo, man, have the kid breathe on the window. Be a really cool shot. He's like, that's stupid fucking idea, but all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Or another video we were doing with another artist. I'm like, hey, how about when she bends over, I'll rack to the necklace, on the bed. Yeah, whatever, stupid shit, just fucking do it. I'll do it. So we go to his house once in a while, like, months after all these videos that we shot, and he'd have all the videos on the reel. He goes, oh, check this video out. He'd be drinking a glass of wine. He was like, oh, there's a shot that you told me I should do, and it's in the video. Oh, there's that shot that because visually, you saw something, you always would seize upon the moment. And like I said, if the proof's in the pudding, if it was good, they would always use it, you know?
Right.
And so it was cool. You couldn't cross the line, start directing and shit.
Right.
We worked with Gary. Gary's funny.
Yeah, I like Gary.
I love Gary. He's the best.
I love Gary. He's straight to the point. He just goes, this, boom, all right.
Yeah, I love Gary. But when you're working with director, you have to you'll fall behind. You have to really be careful of what you say, and you don't want to.
Yeah, because it is such a collaborative experience. Like everyone kind of has a say, but obviously the director has kind of the final or the showrunner,
Right.
But it is kind of interesting how everyone puts their little piece, and sometimes it's like it's magic where it all works.
I love it.
Right.
That
I love,
shot we
I
had
love
the
seeing
other
you
night.
guys like Niels and everybody, or like Laurent, like just talking about something. Like, now I should be like, and I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, but we're gonna do it and it's gonna look cool, so whatever. But yeah, y'all be figuring shit.
I know this episode is crazy right now, but we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna need you to focus on
A smooth sack summer, baby.
smooth sack summer, baby.
Listen, bro, the weather's getting hot.
Yeah, and so is this room. So you know what we need to focus on?
Keeping your balls cool.
Keeping your
Feel me?
balls cool with our friends at Manscaped.
Come on, shout out Manscaped.
Manscaped, come
they
on.
always keeping us
Always
right.
Manscaped gang.
Always keeping us right.
So the Performance Package 4.0 pretty much has everything you need, except it won't let you last longer in bed. But here's the thing, I do need that, and I may need to talk to someone, but they got everything. They got the trimmer.
Yes.
They got the Lawnmower 4.0. They got the
Crop
boxers.
preserver, the crop reviver.
I personally love the crop preserver because, I chafe when I run to the gym in the morning. So, dude, you literally put that lotion on one time, gone. It's crazy. I love that.
I ain't even tried that yet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
It's
about to
dope.
see what's up with that. I'm about
And
to
the
see
Lawnmower
what's up.
4.0, dude, they got the ears.
Oh, yeah, nah,
the
you get
nose.
everywhere, bro. You get
Right.
everywhere. You're gonna be mad clean, mad smooth.
All they need to do is just, help your boy last a little longer. And I think they pretty much got everything covered.
Yeah, everything else is Gucci, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to figure it out like yourself. Bro. I don't think they do I don't think they make cream for that. I don't think they got some stamina preserver. They even got the Shears kit, the 2.0 kit. It's a grooming kit for your nails, bro.
I didn't even try that yet.
You know I always keep the nails first. Right now they looking at it. I'm about to go get
Bro,
a
you
manicure.
needed a manicure yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
You don't need it now.
I don't. Now I'm Gucci, man. I got the Shears kit. Shit got me right, man. Get the cuticles right. Get under the nails. Get the nail beds looking good. You know what I'm saying? Word. Keep them kitty friendly. Did you know that the Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof too? Like,
Is it?
Yeah. Like.
Oh, so you could, if you were just like maybe at a pond one day with your friends, you just wanted to, you wouldn't do that?
I mean, if you want to. I don't think I would do that, but if you want
Or
to,
the
why not?
I mean, most people probably in the shower.
Probably the shower, yeah.
For your
but
ass
the pond,
or whatever.
Pond,
You shave your ass, right?
I don't touch my ass. Like, nah. I don't go in there.
You don't go in there?
Nah.
Maybe you should, dude. Maybe you should just groom it up a little bit.
Nah.
All right, listen, in 10 episodes, this kid's gonna be shaving his ass, I promise you.
You know what I'm heavy on. I'm heavy on the fuck shipping. So use the promo code CREW.
The promo code CREW.
For
you get
20% off
20%
and
off.
free shipping.
Free shipping. I mean, what more can you ask for? 20% off, free shipping, promo code CREW, our friends at Manscaped,
Get on board for a smooth sack summer, baby.
only at manscaped.com. Back to the episode with smooth balls. What's the craziest shit you seen on set, KB?
Ah, dude. So
Yeah, this one locked and loaded.
So we were Corey know
chicken
about
on the
this
way,
one.
too.
We were shooting at the college where Zeke we was playing ball or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're moving
That's a
the
fun
gear.
location.
We're moving the gear, so we gotta hurry up and get the gear. So I'm pushing the gear down. And remember, you remember Charlie? Charlie always riding the dolly. So Charlie, he now it's a steep hill
Right.
going down the back, right? Where we bringing on like gear.
Oh, he on the
So
dolly.
Charlie's like, he jumps on his dolly and he rides the fucking dolly down. Right? I mean, super fast.
Right.
Gets to the end, because, he like a soldier.
Yeah, this dude is like a
motherfucker's
ninja that this guy's talking
He's like
about.
American
He does
Ninja.
crazy shit.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Bro, he was
Yo, if you see Charlie,
I know who you're talking about.
Charlie, he keeps a penknife with him.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
All the
about.
Slick
time.
back here, he's the one with the
Yeah, yeah.
Ferrari.
With the
I know
Ferrari.
what
He's
you're
the one with the
talking about.
Ferrari.
I know
Oh
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's my guy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So he goes flying down the fucking hill,
love Charlie.
gets all the way to the bottom, hops off, and then pulls in slow. Right? I'm not gonna say the person. So this motherfucker tries to ride it. He flips over with the dolly. Boom, 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 boom. All the way down the hill. Boom, boom. He gets oh shit. He's like, oh, my dad's gonna be mad. I said, yeah, your dad's gonna be mad. I said, yo, why the fuck would you do that?
Right.
He's like, I do it all the time. I've been doing this forever. I'm like, you haven't been doing this forever. You haven't even been working in this industry forever. At all. And he flipped it over and then he puts it back on the gate and then he acts like it's not broke. And then lifts the gate and he doesn't lock it and the shit rolls off the gate and falls.
Oh my God, that was
And then he
crazy.
says that did it. He's like, KB, he keeps moving his hair like that. He's like this. He's like, get the Jimmy Neutron haircut. He's like, I'm not coming back next season. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Bro, it's a funny thing is at the end of every season, everyone's always like,
I ain't coming back.
I'm not coming back.
and then day one we come back.
Another Another
Everyone's
6 months. Another 6 months.
At the end of the last week, everyone's like, fuck you, motherfucker, I'm out. Fire me, kill me, I don't care, I'm done. But the good thing about I'm 35 years in this business. Like I have like 54,000 hours in my union in 30 years. So in the beginning, the phone would ring. You available to go shoot the president, vice president? I went up to Kennebunkport once to shoot Bush Sr. when he was running for president. This is, I forget the year now. We were up there, and when you get in, you're in the inner circle with the Secret Service. And you're in his house, and once they know you and they've checked you out, but we were shooting outside, and his like personal security came out and said, we're going inside, this thunderstorm is coming, bad weather. And we went in his house, and a beautiful house up there, you know. And we're in the house, but they scattered all the camera gear. We had 4 or 5 film cameras, they were all scattered because it was raining.
Right.
And I never forget walking around the house, knocking on doors, looking for this camera I had to shoot with, a big film camera. And these 2 white doors just opened them up, and there's Barbara and George behind the bed with these 2 books. You know, these 2 books. And I was like, I just walked in, and I was sitting there, and they put their books down. I'm like, hey, you guys see a couple cameras around? And their face was like, get the fuck out. I was like, sorry, guys.
No Secret Service?
Nope, went right in. I could have hung out and read some books with them. I'm like, I'm really sorry about that. And they raised the books back up, and I loved that.
He was in the Ice Hotel after that one.
I was in the Ice Hotel. But, you know, you never know, the phone would ring and say a celebrity you liked or a musician you liked. Like, I'm a big Springsteen fan. I was shot with Bruce for many years. And it was like last year, we did a video down in his house, and I was able to have a couple words to him, which was really nice. So it was always exciting. You like somebody, like whoever it was, an artist, and you get a call for that video or that person. It was like kind of always exciting, and it was good, and it was actually really bad. But it was a great story. We were on season, I forget our power. We were showing up at the morgue one night, and we always carried a fart machine.
Right.
And it was an active morgue.
Right.
It was
You've done the fart machine on me a couple times this
It was
year.
active, so. You know, my whole big thing in my career is I always try to keep things light, have fun.
Right.
You know, when I'm not working, because when I'm working, it's all hands on deck. If I don't do my job
be
at
locked in.
100%, you know, I'm gonna be. So it's like it's really technical.
Nice
So
hotel.
we're doing this scene, and you know, we're in the morgue. I'm setting it off all night. Everyone's
What
laughing.
scene was it specifically? Do you remember?
I think maybe 50 Cent's
yeah.
character's dead.
Oh,
and that.
all right.
It was grim, and there was a couple people that were in. It was an active place. It wasn't like a set. It was a real hospital. So just to sort of lighten the load, we put it behind the sound guy, and you always need somebody else to walk over and just hit it off. Like,
Right.
what the fuck, you know? So we had it on my cart, and we're doing the scene now at the stage with Amari and Naturi. Big scene in the penthouse, big emotional scene. You know, fighting.
This is days later? Or
Days later,
Yeah.
next day, you know, it's like we're doing this scene, and all of a sudden we're pushing in on the dolly. All of a sudden, yeah, and we're like, oh fuck.
In between the take?
Yo, during the take,
During the take.
yo, it was like, oh, and Amari's like, what the fuck? And then the jury is like, what is that? And I think the AD kind of covered first. Oh, it's the dolly wheel, you know. And I'm like sitting there like, oh fuck, it's on. And if you like, have a key fob or something, we set the shit off.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's like, brr, as it keeps going. I'm like, and one of the ACs, go to the Godfather's cart, turn off the farm machine. And we walked out, and I think the DIT came out and he pointed at me. I'm like, yo, if I ever form a gang,
Right.
you're not in my fucking gang. You fucking out of
they
me.
just
No
ratting,
fucking minute,
they
bro.
ratting crazy. I ain't gonna
I'm
lie,
like,
that's
what's up with
crazy.
that?
So why was it making noise?
It was the batteries were dying or something. So it was like, but there was just the worst possible time I could ever imagine.
That is so.
So
I
it was
can just Amari in an emotional scene like what the.
But
fuck?
you know what? Talking about Amari and even the whole cast of how they were always great. It was other relations, even with Mike now, man. Come on. You know the actors, and what I do is like develop a personal relationship. And it's funny, a lot of times we're doing a big scene, an emotional scene. You guys don't even know what you've even delivered.
Right.
But I see it almost as a
Right.
first audience.
I forget all the time, bro. I'll be like, go home that day, and I'll be like, I don't even know what we did today, or like, I don't even know what this episode. And then you watch, you're like, oh, this was actually legit.
Yeah, when I go to do
That
ADR.
one scene.
Oh, in the hotel?
The hotel plus the other
Oh,
scene
no. I don't think
when you were where you were actually you were crying for the death of your father.
Cemetery.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was
Yeah,
fucking
I
dope.
fucked
Right.
with that.
That
We
was
see
dope.
it. We're
that,
there.
That was tough as
Good
fuck.
work.
You know,
Right.
the crew always has a great sense. Like one director
we
always
see
said,
it.
if the crew laughs, I say it's a comedy or a funny
Right.
thing, you know it's going to be good.
Right.
If the crew is like, whatever.
Sometimes some shit be crazy. Like
Right.
sometimes it's like some shit is said and we like,
Bro, no,
like what the
I
fuck
had
is
such
that?
a good improv line, but I was like, I don't know if I wanted to say it. But so then I was like, whatever. We did all the takes. This was season 2. It was the scene where the line was, "It smelled all weird in here," about Effie and Tariq.
Right.
having
Oh,
sex
yeah.
and
Oh,
stuff.
yo, my God. That was funny.
So this was
That was funny.
This was the last take. We got it, and then I forgot who directed that episode. He's like, "Last one's for you." I was like, "I'm just gonna make the crew laugh." So I came in, and me and Tariq are arguing. I was like, "What the fuck? Like this and that? Like, and it smelled all weird in here. It smelled like quarters." I was like, "It smelled like quarters in here, pennies. It smelled like pennies." And the whole crew started dying laughing, and I was like, "I know they're not gonna use a take, but I was like, that one was for the crew." So sometimes I have improvs where I was like, I just want to make everyone laugh. I don't know
Even if they don't
We do
use
that
it,
shit all the time,
Right.
Yeah.
Who was the guy, Lobos? Was that
Yeah,
Lobos?
Enrique, yeah.
We did a scene with them in a hotel room where they lay out plastic and they're gonna kill somebody. And they do, okay, so we're marking rehearsal. And dude pulls out a machete that was in the scene. He's like, during the take, during the I'm like, yo, and they grabbed that shit. I'm like, yo, easy. And they gave him a broomstick to fucking rehearse with. He was kind of a crazy cat.
He was the best.
Really hard time keeping him in focus. He never did the same thing twice. Ever. No, it was, and the machete. Then we're down in I guess Staten Island, did a big scene with him and Mari, and they were tussling around the woods, and then someone got hit with a tree branch, and there was fighting going on. It was kind of crazy shit because he didn't want to die. Like a lot of times you're on a TV show and you're in Starbucks. I remember with one actor, what's his name, Luis,
Right.
And we're getting some coffee before a call, and he turns around and goes, "Yo, Godfather, I'm dying. They're killing me off today." He didn't know about it. I guess he went to the table read.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's-
yo,
That
the
shit is
depth of a
tough.
character.
Yeah, especially when they don't tell you.
I'm sorry,
That shit is tough.
I'm real sorry. I'm like, yo, man.
Right.
But I love being in tune with the actors. And then we're doing that scene where we're driving in the car under the LIE and he's about to get killed in Tommy's Mustang. And they're driving. I'm like, you know what? He's getting all nervous. Where are we going? Where are we going? He's asking Tom, where are we going? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I go, this guy's going to turn around and look in the back. And just as they turned around, I racked focus to his face. And he looked back. And I always realized when I see the cut, when I see the final episode, let's see how good that was. And in the final episode, there it was. He looking back.
I love
I
that.
felt that energy with all you guys.
Right.
That's
Wait,
fire.
so what
and listen, louder, y'all don't even understand like the instinct that you gotta have to even
Right.
even think that he's gonna turn around. Cause GF's manually like controlling the focus. So like if he didn't know he was turning around, like if he didn't think he was gonna turn around, he would have missed his whole focus. Like he would have been like that's crazy.
And for actors and people, like, say for an example, like if this camera that we're on right now, like you can do movement and it's always in focus because the way it's set up. When you're on a film set, if I go like this, I could be out of focus of this camera because it's so tuned in. So as I move, Geoff has to move with me to keep me in focus. So that's why he's saying like Enrique, he was always like, like if he's moving.
He was just
right.
there's no one to focus.
Wait, so what happened with him and Omari when they got in an argument?
He didn't want to die. He didn't want to. His back was bad. The thing is, they take him out of the car and they pull him out and they throw him to the floor. And a cut. Hold on, he doesn't want to fall to the floor. He's got a bad back.
Right.
So he says, all right, he's got a bad back. You can't throw him to the floor. Then they were tussling in the woods, and I think he hit Omari with a branch or a big piece of wood. Motherfucker! And they had to call in the big guys. The producers come in, and I think Omari went and popped him. And it was like. It was bad. And the crew was like, I'm going to craft service. I'm out. They love that shit. Crew walk away.
Right.
Crew, go. When the producer comes on and says, take 10. Okay, we're going to.
That happened a lot of
Them two
times.
are so locked in.
Oh, yeah.
So they like that's why their scenes were so good together.
Right.
Because they were like fucking. They brought it all.
Those
you know?
scenes like with Amari and even in his office in the club scenes, those are crazy scenes that we did.
Right.
We do all these crazy, but you also have to be really like on a film set. You have to be. It's a very delicate set. So, and I always respect the actors. Rob says, "Don't talk to the actors." Right. But we do these scenes, whether it's a sex scene where it's very intimate, it's close set. Where you guys are you're in your head. It's a big scene. It's emotion. You're there to really, you're portraying a character. We have this one Karen PA. I love the guy still on the show. He's a good kid. But we'll be doing this big scene, not even a close set, but emotional scene. Dude comes on with 2 shopping bags of coffee. How you doing, guys? Who wants coffee? He walks to something. You see. Or it comes on with, I got shrimp, I got wraps, pretty good. I got sandwiches. I got, pretty good.
Who's this sex scene with?
I forget now. He comes busting. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And I see him coming like a freight train. I'm like, yo, pretty good. I got some Cuban sandwiches, and I got fries on the side, got smoothies, like what's around the set. And I'm like, no. I did a scene one time with Jim Gandolfini. I was working on Sopranos over there, and I just started working on TV, and it was him, and he was with his psychiatrist. And it was like a close-up. It was 2 cameras side by side. I was on the close-up, and the thing was, never look an actor's eye line because you don't want to see me.
Exactly.
Sometimes that does like fuck
It
me up. Like
happens,
a lot of our BTS camera guy, I'll be like doing a scene with Mike. I'll be looking, and then I'll like look off in the distance, and he's right there.
You'll see Miles.
Miles don't give a fuck.
Miles don't care.
Miles gonna get that shot.
Yeah, Miles was like,
No,
hey,
Miles.
KB,
Love Miles.
excuse me,
Sometimes.
can I, the apple box, can I stand on that? I'm like, I'm sitting on it. What the fuck you mean?
On top of my back.
He does take fire.
You gotta love Miles.
I
He's
fuck
like,
with Miles.
can I sit on that?
No.
Am I in your way? Yeah,
you are in the way.
I'm a fucking way.
But you know, with
Miles is awesome.
But with Gandolfini, like we did the scene. I took the gate. It was film cameras back then, and he goes, "How you doing? I'm Jim Gandolfini. Hey, do me a favor, watch the eye line." I was like, and then you knew it was coming, but now our minds are always upset and stuff. But even with this guy Miles, he's a great guy. He's a set cinematographer.
Awesome.
We were doing a big scene. We did a big scene where the guy comes in a room, comes as close with his nose to the camera and walks away. It's dark, very, very technically hard to keep it all in focus. And he comes in front of my monitor. He's like swinging around, and I'm like, Miles.
Right.
Go this way. In the middle of this big scene, but you have to stay clear. Even like my son, who would come on set in the beginning when he first started working on the show, he'd be standing there with his arms folded in the big scene. I'm like, no, you just go left. You got to be careful.
Right.
Give the actors their space.
Yeah, people don't know how technical and like that's like unspoken stuff.
Right.
That they don't teach you that at film
Right.
school.
No.
They don't tell you that James Gandolfini's gonna
Right.
go, hey yo, get out the way. Like
Right,
you
exactly.
just learn how to work the camera.
Right.
So those are
Yeah.
unspoken stuff.
But as you learn, as any experience.
Right,
fact.
right. Corey, what was your first day and what's like a crazy original Power story? Because you were there from Power early on. Like, what's
Yeah.
one of your favorite ones that makes you laugh when you think about?
So honestly, I have a story from Ghost that was pretty crazy. It was
Do you know
one
what this
time.
is?
Nah, it's not that one. It was one time.
You gotta tell that one though.
Yeah,
If there's one that you're saying, not that one, we gotta hear that one next.
This one's calm though. So it was one time we was filming in this alleyway in the city when we was doing Method Man and Sax in the city, and we were in that alleyway. So then this guy comes out of nowhere and he's hot. He comes out of nowhere like up to me and KB, like random people. He's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Why are you in my alleyway? Who the fuck told you? Where are the permits?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, and we're like, yo, you know, we just work with the camera. We're just grips, you know. You gotta go talk
gotta
to
talk to
like
them,
somebody
yeah.
else. But he's like, oh, fuck that. Go get the manager. Go get who's in charge here.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he's
blanking
going
out.
crazy, right? And then this guy just disappears. And then 5 minutes
man.
later,
Yes.
a fucking car comes down the alleyway, right? Crashes into the lift. Boom! Right?
What the
So
fuck?
everybody jumps back, and then we run to the car. Nobody's in the car.
No one.
Yeah.
Nobody's in the car.
The car was ghost. Nobody was in the
nobody
fucking
in
car.
bro. He sends pretty much, and then we're like, yo, what the fuck? How did a car just roll into the alleyway? Nobody's driving the car. So then a random dude comes out of nowhere another 5 minutes later.
Hey, you see my car?
Another 5 minutes later, he comes out of nowhere like, oh, sorry, I think I left my car running. Backs the car up and disappears, bro. Just like that.
what?
It was
Yeah.
like Sun sent a hit out us on us in the fucking
Yeah.
alleyway.
It was crazy.
It's crazy.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I never heard about that. It's weird because if we're not on set that day,
You
we
don't
don't
know
really
about
hear
it.
about something
Bro,
like
it's
that unless
so
it's right.
much
Bro,
shit we
listen,
haven't
we
heard.
piss so much people off when we're filming
On
on
a
the
daily.
streets.
Right.
Y'all have no idea.
Yo, dude came
bro.
out one night in a bathrobe, run down there. Who the fuck's in charge? Bathrobe, pajamas.
Right.
He had this big light going into his, like a daylight going into his window, flipping out. And you always gotta be careful because you're the first person they see.
Right.
So it's like, who's in charge? Like the other day in Staten Island, guy comes out. Another guy, hey, who's in charge over here? Someone's fucked in my driveway. And I'm building the camera and I go, oh boy. He
You're
gave
right.
me this fucking look and pointed at me like,
And Johnny Locations comes out like, yeah. Starts like talking. But yeah, it is weird because we are filming in the like what happened maybe 3-4 weeks ago. We were shooting at the Weston Townhouse, like beautiful $80 million walk up in Upper East Side. The people next door. We're filming in the house. They just don't like that the camera trucks are out there. But it is like if people know the show, they're like, oh, great, do your thing. Like, we're
Right.
fans. They won't make noise. They don't want to mess up any takes.
Right.
But this specifically, people on the Upper East Side, $80 million, but they don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
So they play,
Fuck your TV
they were
show.
playing a song on repeat as loud as they could. They put a speaker right up to our window. You can't shoot.
Yep.
So they run over next door, try and make it work. Really sure what, right. But it's just crazy how, but I'm like, bro, you got an $80 million house. You're fucking up our little set here, trying to
We're trying to get an $80 million house. Like,
Right.
what's up? Like,
Trying to make it go on a PJ to the Bahamas and enjoy your
go get a
money.
helicopter, go to the Hamptons or something like.
Here. Like,
He the most pissed off though.
Yeah.
it's
Mad
I never
miserable.
understand that. I'm like, listen, we bring in a lot of money for the city.
Yep.
A lot of, it's a big part of the economy in New York City. It's a good thing. That's why I don't get when people are like all pissed off when we're shooting around their thing. But I do get it. The
That should be
trucks were
so
there
funny.
early. But what was
Bro,
that second
even-
story?
Nah, I have mad stories, bro.
We need
Even
him.
last
Need him.
season, bro. Last season we were filming. I'm pushing a dolly. There's a PA on the corner. We in Brooklyn in the hood, bro. There's a
And we
PA.
shoot
shoot
we
everywhere.
shoot in the trenches.
Yeah, we
all
need
the
everywhere
time.
with
Look,
it.
people
We
don't
Red
know
Hook,
that.
all that.
Mind
Everywhere.
you, this is this PA's like
Shout to Red.
first week, right? So we filming in Brooklyn in the
Oh, man,
hood.
first week.
And some dude comes walking down the block and he's like, sorry, sir, you can't walk down this block. We're filming right here. Grabs him by the neck, picks him up. So you don't fucking tell me where to walk on my block.
Oh my God, bro.
Nah.
Yeah,
what?
bro, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it's juniors. It's juniors.
What do you mean? What do you
When
mean?
we was at Junior's
Who's that
Cheesecake.
juniors?
Oh, Junior's Cheesecake. That's not that bad
it's
of
a
an area.
side block.
Right.
It's nobody's block.
Right,
It's a
right.
fucking.
We did a big scene.
Facts.
He was
in
just
this- in this
bugging.
season.
Wow, yeah,
He
he
was just
tweaking.
bugging.
He had
Right.
to be tweaking.
But we was, I don't mention the actor, but it was a big scene, and there was some shit going down. Someone down the block who was trying to do a little hustle, want some money. You're on my block. And I'm always, I have an overview of the set. I don't just sit down, just watch everything.
It's weird because this does happen a lot. On
Yeah.
other shows, this probably never happens. Like everyone's gonna
You're
say
out
I
there.
shit on Riverdale all the time, but like you think Riverdale is shooting in the trenches in
No.
Vancouver where someone comes and goes, "You're on my block." This happens to us every week.
have
to
But
respect
the
the
good thing
neighborhood.
is most of those people watch the show who are
Right.
in the trenches. This and that. They're big fans, so they usually let us,
Right.
do our thing.
They be like, word, I
Right, but say for example, if like some ABC Family show was like, let's shoot here and there, they'd be like, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
they don't
They
play
not
that.
jacking.
But even with the actor, we were sitting there, and this guy was hustling and wanted money, and locations came over, and we were in a huddle, and I saw the dude standing there. They were about to do a scene with him, about to roll, and I walked over, I said, yo, he goes, I'm gonna lose it in like 10 seconds. And I said, dude, chill, it's all good. This guy's gonna leave. We're gonna do this scene. It's gonna work out. And no one else was talking to this guy, the actor.
Right.
And no one was because he needed help because he was gonna. It was an emotional scene. But I just walked out there. And it's kind of like I feel like almost my job
remember
just
that.
to come
Yeah.
out. It's all gonna be. And we did the scene. There was no problem. But
Right.
we're doing a Missy Elliott video in downtown LA like 25 years ago, and you never fuck with people that are above you.
Right.
If someone yells some shit out like, "Hey, what do you guys?" or some shit, don't yell. And the director starts talking back to some people, and all of a sudden we're doing this big dance sequence. All of a sudden, bottles, ashtrays start coming down from above, and we got to clear the set and get the hell out of there. But and the cops came and went upstairs and yoked the guys out, and they brought them downstairs, and they might have arrested them. But you like even the years ago, like you always had to be careful where you were shooting,
Right.
Because they would just like put you up on a crane and move to location. Like, all right, cameras are up there, the camera guys on the camera. Let's just move them up there. You didn't even get off the crane because if you got off the crane, you have to de-weight it,
Right.
And you just go from location to location. You'd be going by a power line. You were like, yo, we're doing a video one time. I think it was a guy video or some shit up in that stage. And we're was a crane that was there. We're getting some focus marks, and the grip's like, yo, get off the crane. Get off the crane. That doesn't look right. So I got off the crane and de-weighted it. All of a sudden, the crane just went, boom. That would have been my ass on that crane. I would have been dead.
Yep.
And the operator would have been dead. And we would have been above people. So, you had to be careful. It's dangerous too. Process trailer work, all that stuff. You have to be the one to say, wait a minute, we're going to go down the street. Even when I did Fast and Furious in Puerto Rico, Fast 5, like you had to think about where you're going to have a guy say, all right, cars are going to come out of a parking lot being chased by this big truck.
Right.
And it's going to go around a corner. And the stunt guys were the guys that would run safety. And all of a sudden you feel someone grab like my belt. And he goes, if the car goes to the left, the big truck, this Gurkha truck, I'm going to pull you out of the scene. And this is no wireless focus. This is all hand on the knob.
Right.
So we do the scene, break through the toll booth, car comes around the corner, and And near misses us. All right, we're cool. Let's do take 2. All of a sudden, the guy's gone. I don't feel the guy's on my belt anymore. He goes, I gotta go drive a stunt car. I'm leaving. And then the car comes out, breaks through the gate, and I'm like, yo, I'm out. I leave the camera. So we go back and look at the shot, and the operator's like, yo, it's a great shot, but we lost focus around here. He goes, yeah, that's when I left the camera, bro. That's when I walked away from, because I saw the camera, like the car like shifted a little bit. And I was like, no.
Right.
But you be doing a shot, and the stunt team was like, where are you gonna be? I'm gonna be like over here because the car is gonna flip off the bridge. No, you can't be here.
So many moving pieces that people don't know about.
That thing screw up sometimes.
Right.
It's dangerous.
You know?
sometimes, bro.
But you know something? The fans go hard though for the show. When we shot in Mount Vernon, and Tommy had to do the drive-by. At first, it was nobody outside.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The second he got there and got out the car when we shot up the whole bar,
It was lit.
people were hanging out the window.
It was lit.
Right.
Tommy!
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
crazy.
Right.
You didn't think all those people was in Mount Vernon.
Right.
But
I like
everybody
that
came
location
out.
over there. There was a fire-ass Jamaican restaurant
Yeah.
over there. I forgot the name of it, but I had some food from
Yeah.
over there.
That's what you were doing on your fucking post. I knew you were ordering food, you motherfucker.
I got us some chicken.
That happened with us when I mean it happens all the time
All the
now,
time.
but even season 1 of Ghost, like I had only done 5 episodes of the original Power. So I'm like, people don't really know my character. We didn't really get into depth about, who Braden was. We were doing that scene where it was me and Tariq were walking down the street and we're like, well, I'll fight you right now. And then Effie pulls up.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go
yeah.
to
Yeah,
Yale.
I remember that.
We were, it was like late at night, probably it was a Friday night, like 1, 2 a.m. All of a sudden,
Fucking Friday days, man.
the
Friday
building. We was in the projects that day, right? Because there was people like looking out there, like, what are they
What the
shooting?
fuck
What are they
is going
shooting?
on? Yeah.
They see me and Michael walk down the street and just yell, Braden, Tariq. They literally had to keep cutting because it was a walk and talk. So once we're doing the lines, if you fuck up one line in the walk and talk, it could be 45 minutes. 45 seconds in, you gotta restart
Yeah, you gotta restart.
because you gotta be at the right marks from where you're walking.
Exactly.
People were yelling, Braden, Tariq. We're like, we love you guys. You're not going to get season 1 if you keep yelling our names while we're walking. And they're like, oh, okay, my bad. So most people are pretty cool with it.
The thing too also is to never engage the public. Like we're doing a shot of Amari, and I guess it was Joe's car coming down the street, long lens shot. They're walking talk coming at us. I have the monitor set up, and if we're rolling, I have the headphones on, I'm pulling focus, they're coming at us, and some woman next to me, what are you shooting? And I'm like, and I just did the shh. I shushed this, and then all of a sudden, what? Fuck you! Who the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh my god, I did the cardinal sin. I engaged,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then
you
yelling
can't.
at me, fuck
Yeah.
you, get off my street. I'm like, what did I do that for? And I'm just like, just ignoring that person. But you gotta be careful sometimes. Always treat people nicely. Always treat them on their street. But in respect also to the crew, we talk about, on the film set, as you guys know, obviously, there's hair, makeup, wardrobe, grip, electric, location, sound department, VTR. There's so many people that really get
So many
the
moving
job
parts.
done.
Right.
Yeah,
who
moving
work
parts.
cohesively together to get the end product, which is a great TV show or a
a big
scene.
machine.
And all working together and always getting along together. Because sometimes you get a little friction here and there.
But we have so much
Listen,
fun.
we have too much
Even
fucking fun.
much fun.
Friday
It's a
night
fam-
was
it's a
so
family.
fun, bro. Like,
Okay, go.
No,
No, you go.
We just had that scene where it was like horror movie vibes. The lighting was cool. We had a cookie truck come. Like everyone was just in such a good mood on a Friday night. It was hot as fuck. Me and Mike are in big wool jackets.
I hate that.
I'm
they
a
do
happy
Everyone's
guy.
just making fun of us. Be like everyone's literally with their shirts off, and they're like, "Yeah, how you guys
I got
feeling
some
over
chicken
there?"
for us
Like,
if y'all want some though.
Yeah, let's eat good.
Who's that there with the lightsabers? Who put the lightsabers?
Oh, I got a good
Yo,
lightsaber
lightsabers
story.
was-
That's
oh,
the
man.
one. That's one of the ones.
Go.
And
Hey, let
then-
me get a biscuit, man. Let me get a biscuit,
So
man.
Eve, when Eve first started directing Power, that's when we was in our lightsaber heavy phase.
Yes.
bro, I do remember that. It was 106.
Yeah, exactly. When Eve first came on that season, we was having lightsaber battles every day on
Every
the
day.
clock, at lunch,
We was having so much fun.
whenever, wherever. It was smoke everywhere. So when Eve
it
first
was
came
up in
on, before I even introduced myself, anything, I guess, mind you, he thinks it was me, but it wasn't me. So there was a lightsaber battle happening next to the door. Eve walks through the door and somebody, I don't know if I should say the name,
No, don't say the
somebody
name.
slaps Eve with the lightsaber in the back of the head. And Eve is just like, what the fuck was that? And the dude takes off and run. We all ran though. So then after that, somebody introduced me to Eve. They were like, oh, this is Corey, he's our B-Dollar. And he's like, yeah, you're the one that smacked me in the head with the lightsaber, right? I'm like, nah, it wasn't me. He's like, you know who did it, though. Who was it? I'm like, yo, I'm not a snitch, bro. So to this day,
You know what set we're on right now? Nobody's snitching.
Facts. To this day, Eve always jacks that I smacked him with a lightsaber. Never happened. It was actually his son, though.
They pulled him out, and then Larry Sawyer came on set one day and saw the guys like doing this little duel. If you get hit, you get your out. He went fucking crazy.
He
Pulled out
crazy.
the lightsaber.
He became a ninja.
I'm like, yo, time out. Easy. You gotta put those things away before someone gets hurt. Someone gets poked. But you have to sort of
We had so much fun.
keep that to a minimum. But we always, like I said, we had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's something you keep it to keep the crew laughing. Always the trucks, waffle trucks. We had the Shake Shack truck recently. The crew was shut down. They all had the hamburgers and then come back from lunch. They were like, no one was in any mood to work. It was like hamburgers, shakes.
It was finished.
You gotta love everybody.
The two of them together is a problem.
Yeah, it's very few. We have everyone. Lala was great. And all these people were always, and it's to me, you forget about people sometimes that we hear and they've gone. But it was always really great scenes.
Corey, what's the story that you're about to tell about Mike?
All right, so season 6, like I saw Mike since he was like younger, and I never knew like exactly what type of person he is. Like, I'm from Queens, and I'm from the town. Like, I'm a certain type of individual. I didn't know he was really like that. But I think it was the season 6 premiere of Power. And
that shit was crazy. I didn't go.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I knew Mike, but it was on some like high and by shit. Like I would say what up. But we was outside the after party, and this was at the time when people hated Tariq.
Right.
So there was some dude on the street that said some shit like, yo, fuck you, Tariq. And then he was in the car, probably with his mans. He was like, yo, suck my dick, pussy. Fuck out of here.
That sounds exactly like what Mike said.
I'm like, yo, that was my first time. I'm like, yo, wait, hold on. He sounded like he from the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it looked like son wanted to do something. I got behind, boy, just on some like.
I just remember that after.
Yeah, I'm like,
Boy was right behind. I was standing outside the SUV. I was like, hey, yo, suck my dick.
Nah, cause I'm like, yo, he started pulling up his pants and all that. I'm not about to let none of that go down, but I'm like, all right, my son's son.
My son Corey was there.
Thanks, bro.
My son Corey was there.
Bro, that's the same thing. Like, when I first met him, you think of actors. When you're going to work with actors, they're like, I'm a thespian, like this and that. Bro, we went out for the first time. He was just going crazy. I'm like, he do not care. I'm like, this is why I fuck with him so much.
There were some serious scenes with you and Amari where you guys were getting into it. And I was like, yo, that's for real. Yeah. I think that wasn't like half speed, where you were like, you were going at it in this one scene. It was because Amari always brought it on. He was always all in, all an actor.
I always think about that when I think about the scene where we arguing in the hotel.
In the hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, tell me what happened with Breeze and everything, and I'll turn myself in. And I remember we was rehearsing that shit. And he did some unexpected shit. He just slammed me on the table during rehearsal. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn. That's what we doing. And they kept that too.
They cut a part out, but I think you started crying in that scene.
Yeah, I did, but they didn't use that part. I'm like, bro, y'all made me cry for what, bro?
Right.
Like,
That happened to be
bro,
season
that
2.
shit got me, and they got me tight too, because that the same shit when I did the eulogy. They didn't use the take where I was crying, like, cause I was.
It's
that
funny.
one,
We gotta have Stewart on, who's editor as well as director.
Bro. Like,
and I want to ask him.
I pull out all these tears, bro, and you don't use it, bro.
The gag reel at the rap party, when we used to have rap parties, was always the most fun because
those are the best.
The crew was the best part of a rap party. Just seeing all the outtakes.
Yes,
because it really
those are
kind of like
fire, bro.
putting everything in perspective, and the
Why
crew
don't
loved
do
that.
that no more?
Man,
just
when
a
was
rap
the last
party because of the pandy wandy. They don't.
it's just like
it's a cop out to go. Oh, we don't need a rap party. It's like, bro,
you do.
There's people
You do need a
literally
rap
going
party.
to rolling loud right now.
Yeah.
It's like
Why don't we have a rap party?
Yeah.
It's a real thank you.
Rolling Loud
that's
was
what
lit this
everybody
weekend,
look
too.
forward to is the rap party.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a real thank you to the crew.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, think about this: 130 days you're there on time, at 7 a.m. or before then,
Right.
and you through the rain, to the snow, to the heat. It's tough. And we never socialized after the softball game yesterday.
That was
It's
so-
nice
that
to
was
sort of
so
break it
dope,
down a
man.
little bit with the crew.
That was fire. That was
And
We need
so
them rap
but
parties, bro.
But there was some crazy scenes.
Wait, there was you were telling me a story last time where someone like went on set and they pretended they worked for the set and was like getting next to Michael and he was.
Oh, remember that dude? the black guy that came on set and was acting like he was part of our crew.
Oh, and he put on the shit. He
Yes.
was going in the cooler, everything.
Everything, drink, chilling with us, everything.
Yep.
So what do? I'm looking like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, who is this guy? Where is he from? Like, who is he?
I don't know what I do.
Yeah, he don't know. He didn't know nothing. He just was on, and I don't even know how he got
People
on the set.
infiltrate. We had a kid on the camera truck one day.
Because we're also literally filming on the streets of New York City.
Exactly.
So someone can literally just walk and stand there and just be like,
you don't even know, right?
This kid on the camera truck one day, hello, my name is Tag, and I said, what's up? He goes, I'm a production assistant. I go, that's nice. What are you doing? He goes, and you can always know everybody. He goes, and you can't feed someone the lines. Oh, you're with production? Oh, yeah, I'm with production. I was giving him all the information. I'm like, who is this kid? He just came off the street. He wanted to work on the job. Put on a little hello, my name is so-and-so. And got in the camera truck and started working with him. I'm like, no, I ain't done.
He did like 2 weeks for free.
Where's my lenses?
Like I want to be in the scene. I want to be in the scene. I get hair and makeup. We'll get you in the scene. You know your lines, okay? You know, always keep it light with people. But through all the years, done so many really great scenes. Even with Cars 50, we'd come on set.
Right.
You know, we always lightened up.
What's your favorite 50 story? I want 50 stories from everyone because
50.
every day he comes on set is like it's crazy.
It's a movie with 50.
Right. I just remember like the first time I met him at breakfast for the first time before one of the episodes he was doing pre-production. I remember him coming and being like, bro, like you killed that shit. Like it was like a couple scenes that I did. That's when I really met him. I was like, damn. Like a couple days later, I was upstairs at the Steiner gym lifting. It was just me and 50 in there. I'm like, this is fucking crazy, bro. Like he's just sitting there like going like that. And he like look over at me. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit. And then so then he started directing. This motherfucker eats red vines all day long. I've never seen someone eat as much licorice on set as 50 Cent. That shit was crazy. Just all day long, just eating red vines. I'm like, he's bolo. Like, he's bolo for that.
That's crazy. I mean, we did a scene with 50. I don't think he knew what it was or what I did, you know. And it was a scene. It was like we're into meal penalty, we're into like overtime. And it was a scene where he pulled up in a car and he gets out. He walks up, really tight lens, and he texts, and he walks off frame. And the producer or the AD, that's it. Well, this is the last take. We're going to lunch after this, whether we get it or not. Right. It was a tough focus. And he got out, stopped, hit his text, boom, and it was tack sharp. I'm like, fucking great, we got it. And he walks by, I'm like, yo, 50, that was great, man. He goes, yo, did you see it? You see the shot? I'm like, yo, what do you think I do for a living, bro? I'm focusing on you walking in, he had no idea. And I was like, yo, that's my job. He goes, oh, cool, man. But I was like, that's what I do. But just a good soul, just come on set, liven up the crew, and laugh.
He's
and joke
mad
around.
funny, bro.
You never know when he's coming on either. When he come on, it's like
he just pulls up.
He just pulls up.
Bentley,
With a whole, bro, I never forget that first time. So 50 spoiled what Ghost was. So Power was still filming. Power was still airing. There was like 3 or 4 episodes left. We're on probably like episode 3 or 4 of Ghost, season 1. 50 pulls up. Me and Mike are leaving a table read. All of a sudden, we see this like black car just like following us, walking down the street. And I'm like, okay, we wasn't like in the trenches, but we was in the hood. Like it was in the middle. And we just see this car following. I'm like, damn, like this is a little sketchy. So I'm just like looking. I forget who our PA was at that time. And I remember we had Chick-fil-A, and me and Mike were walking with a Chick-fil-A. All of a sudden, I see a giant Fendi tracksuit tackle Michael. I turned around, I was like, oh shit! I was trying to like square up. Like, what the fuck happened? It's 50. They both hit the deck. They hit the ground. Michael's Chick-fil-A goes everywhere. And I get up and I see it's 50. We start dying laughing. He chops it up with us for like 5 minutes. He goes, let's take a flick real quick. We're at the trailer, takes a flick.
He has the picture of me, you, and 5 at the trailer. That flick is fire.
It is a fire flick. And then he's like, all right, I'm out. Drives off. He's like, he's like, I gotta go to LA. Just leaves. We're like, what the fuck? Literally like 10 minutes later, it's up on the gram. We get back on set from lunch. The crew is losing their minds. Sabrina, Stars. They're like, they gotta take it down. He spoiled everything. I reposted it. just on my story, because I'm like, 50's an executive producer. Like, if he's posted, I think it's fine. I put it on my story, put my phone away. All of a sudden, they come up to me, I can't believe you reposted that. I'm like, 50 posted it. I didn't post it. They're yelling at me. I'm like, this shit was crazy. And then he finally, like, after like 6 hours, was like, all right, I'll take it down. Took it down, left it up on Twitter and everything else. I'm like, they don't give a fuck. Like,
Yo, it's funny you say Sabrina. Sabrina.
Oh, we gotta hear some Sabrina stories.
Right.
Sabrina's fucking crazy.
bro, she has no shame.
So
Yeah, Sabrina's
just
insane.
when we was shooting at the cemetery.
Right.
Right? Now it's a fucking wall. She can't scale the wall.
Right.
At all. She goes right up on the grass, on the tombstone. She's yelling at the guy up there, shh, shh, no pictures. Excuse me.
Right.
And I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, she's crazy.
Right. So
Like,
Sabrina
she's
Sabrina does publicity
Yes.
for Power, Stars, everything. And
I'm gonna pick up a side job while doing it. Like, she just like
Not allowed. She uses the water bottle to cut people's cameras. No images, no pictures.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Puts it right there.
when people are on set, like taking photos, if it's spoilers, this and that, Sabrina will go up to them and go, no, you can't take photos, this and that. And then, like, if they do, they're like, oh, sorry, usually.
Right.
I get too weird with that. I can't do that. She'll go into your phone and say, go to your
Fucking
recent.
crazy.
And then go, okay, delete
Bro,
that.
the
And
funny
then
is
she'll
that-
go into your recently deleted
Yeah.
and delete that. I'm
Yo,
like,
she's mad funny too, because she'd be like, yo, the other day we were doing the scene, those like, there was like the drunk dudes they pulled up to set and were like making videos. So she goes to some, blah, 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 delete that. She comes to me, she takes care of the situation, comes to me, she's like, yeah, I made him double delete too. I was crying, I was
Bro,
like,
she's
yo,
so
you're
funny.
bad.
But she does not care. She'll go up to anyone.
You can't stop in New York. It's on the
She's
street.
fucking gangster.
Yeah, Right.
She doesn't even realize
she doesn't even
Right.
get.
Yo,
'Cause
she
she
sees
would go
somebody-
up to
Excuse me,
anyone.
excuse me.
She doesn't
Right.
give
right
a
across the
fuck.
street. Don't even look at cars. Just dash out across the street.
Green light, bro.
Don't even
Buses
look.
come in,
Right.
taxis.
Just dash out.
And a lot of times, like, some people just see TV cameras and they're like, oh, cool, like, there's something filming. And she'll go up to them, no. Like, crazy.
She be-
real.
Yeah,
Yep.
she be bugging, man. Shout out to Sabrina, man.
Yeah, she be holding it
Shout
down.
out to Sabrina, holding it
Bro,
down.
that's why I love, like, doing shit like this and getting you guys on, because we actually, like, get to go in depth of, like, what the crew does. And
Right.
I want to do more episodes like this because it's obviously so much fun. You guys see a lot of the stuff that we don't see, you know?
Y'all get the experience.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I wanna hear some more of y'all stories.
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I got a little 50 thing. So during Power season 6 or whatever, season 5, I was actually doing construction, like actually building the sets or whatever.
Right.
And I just remember at the time, like I was adjusting to, let me just say, there was a lot of white people that I worked under.
Right.
So I was trying to make myself, be a little bit more proper, not as hood. You sometimes you got to switch it up. I'm not going to use slang and lingo and all of that.
It's like
So-
the Key and Peele sketch. When I get to work, you see like camera, this other, good morning, and then I see KB. I'm like, what up, gang? I'm in here.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Bring it in.
I see like Sabrina, and I'm like, good morning. What up, my guy Kai? Right.
Fact. So my boss, who was white at the time, he was giving me instructions, and I was speaking back very proper. Yes, sir. Okay, we'll do this, then that. No problem at all. And then I see a hand dig into my tool cart. And it was 50 Cent, bro. I look up and he was like, yo, I need y'all to build me like some shit like this in my crib, though. And then my boss, who I was talking so proper to, was like, yo, 50, what up, dog? What up, son? This and that. Like, he switched up. So I was like, wait, hold on. So I'm switching up for these motherfuckers. 50 comes down, they switching up for him. Fuck that. After that, I never really changed how I talk. I just talk how I talk because I'm like, fuck it.
Bro, it's so funny because honestly, like sometimes, I've done ABC Family shows. I've done stuff like that. So you go on set and it's very proper, like Fox, all white comedies, and you're just like, good morning, everyone. But like, I don't know, for some reason, when I feel like I get on the Power set, like I get to just be me, especially being around Mike and all them. Like, that's just like the way I am.
Right.
And you guys know that. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, sometimes you got to go on like those other sets or you go to a meeting, you're like, hello. But I got to be better. I'm just being me. Like, I don't give a fuck, like the way I sound.
At the end of the day, that's what
Right.
you have to
But
do.
sometimes you get haters like, like this kid's white. Like, why the fuck is he like that? I'm like, bro, this is how I've been since I was 10 years old. I've had to shrink myself to fit into those other spaces, and I can't imagine what you guys have to do being, black guys,
Right.
So
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Godfather Godfather's like, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit's tough.
I'm the Godfather. I've seen it all.
I've been there. I see it. I hear you, brother. I got it. I got you. Day one.
Day one.
No, it's like it's a family.
It's a family.
But you guys gotta be comfortable when you come on set because you're about to do your thing. You know,
Right.
you're about to do a big scene, and you have to show up and do do the big scene.
And it's helped me so much because season 1 I was nervous coming on set because this is my first like big series regular like this and that, and it affects your acting when you're nervous. You're like, fuck,
Right.
it
does.
Yeah.
Bro, now I come to set and I am locked in because of the energy that you guys give. Like,
Right.
I remember me and Michael, had a conversation. We were like, oh, like we just don't want to look dumb, like doing this
Right.
and looking stupid.
Right.
But it's like, when you come to set, like, you guys know the deal. You know
Right.
we gotta go to places
Right.
and do this and that. You never look dumb. So when you go on a new set, sometimes you're like, oh shit, I don't know these people.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't know their
environment,
vibe.
exactly.
Right.
The
But
vibe.
I will say power sets are different than any
It
other
is.
set
Yeah.
ever. It is a once in a lifetime set to be on because we had that softball game. There were a couple
Right.
people that worked on the Apple TV show
Right.
that worked on Power, and I would talk to them and be like, how it is over there. It's like it's a Apple TV show. Like
Right.
it's great, but
Right.
it's
Not
not
a
Power.
family.
It's
It's
a
not a
family.
family, bro.
It's a different thing where,
Right.
yeah.
You know
it's
what kills
work.
me too? They'll have a director's rehearsal where you go on set, it's very quiet. The director's rehearsal. They're like everyone's just shushing you the whole time. All right, great, director's rehearsal. All right, now we're gonna roll. Here we go. Rolling camera, we're on.
Right.
All of a sudden, on the soundstage, and they allegedly have soundproof doors, but we're rolling, you guys are doing your shit. Yo, what's up? Yo, how was your 4th of July weekend? Yo, it was barbecue, got some ribs. Like, fuck.
I'll be in the middle of
We're
the set, like-
fucking rolling now.
Me and G be in the middle of the
and
set, be
it's
like-
quieter during the director rehearsal. And
Yo,
you're
wait,
like,
what the? Yo, can we get some quiet?
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah,
set?
yeah.
Lock up the set.
well, Mary, we did a scene with Mary the other day, and all of a sudden we hear like boom, boom.
Yo,
and
yeah,
Mary's like,
yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Bigfoot up there? Fucking walking around.
He's like, what the fuck?
Or like, no, it was a
Facts.
tough scene. It was a walk up 135, and she had a
Yeah.
line. I got it, nailed it. I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be a great scene. Boom. What the fuck?
She said,
Who dropped
like,
something?
yo.
Guys, like,
Nah, it was great.
But even our rehearsals are even different than other shows. Like when
Yeah.
you get to like other shows, are like, okay, directors here, this and that. Like me and Mike come in listening to music. We're like, what we got? What we doing? Let's kill this shit. But that brings up the morale when we all have fun. It makes the product better.
That's the first thing I touched on when I was
shout
doing.
out to Gary, man, because
Yo.
Gary, when you shooting the scene,
You mean
and
Gary?
Gary, yes, sorry.
all right,
Gary.
he's in the Ice Hotel
Yeah, he's like, KB, hey, you're fired.
You might not
It's
see
my last
KB
day.
on Monday.
Gary's
Might not
around.
see me, but yo, he's cool as shit. I
So
think
Gary is our new supervising director this season.
Right.
Yes.
Been around forever.
Ever.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
ever
Great guy.
Legend.
Legend.
He'll say sometimes, like, let's do one more take.
Yeah.
What was the problem? I'm like, you really want to? I'm going to tell you what the problem was. A couple of focus marks here and there. Because when you're doing a scene, it's all about these different hits. You
Right.
know, it's a puzzle. You got to figure out the puzzle.
Right.
Sit, you lean forward, you go back, and you leave the scene.
Right.
So what do you mean? I always say we spend more time talking about it. Let's just roll the camera.
Right.
Right.
And,
Do it.
and it's always
And
like,
make it happen.
just keep the consistency going.
Yeah.
'Cause once you guys leave the set, even when there's a problem and people leave the set for a minute, it never is the same when you come back.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
on
fact.
technical stuff.
That is
really
a
tough
fact.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll probably think that we got it, and they'll be like one more take. We'll probably be frustrated, but we'll never really know what they're missing. So like,
I'll always
Right.
say, just listen to me. I'm going to tell you exactly. If you want to walk away from the scene, when you go to the edit suite in LA, they're not calling you what you're calling my ass.
Right.
Because they can't use the shot.
Right.
Because something just, I can always tell on a walk up or whatever, that something
Bro,
was
it's
right.
so crazy how sometimes timing
You
or
walked over to me.
anything.
You're really enthusiastic. That one scene we did
Right.
other day, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
If I'm
you
not,
come up to me at the end of every take, be like, that shit would look fucking sweet. We got this, and that. I'm like, I love that.
I know we did some shit when GF comes up to me.
Yeah.
He's like, that's good shit. I got the with the and you did the good shit, Mikey. I love
Because
this.
if I'm like, I got my focus device, I'm like, let's go. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. It's not gonna work out. You gotta be. I'm like we have one of our guys.
You be dialed
my
in.
boy Rodrigo. He gets the
I love
comfortable chair on
Rodrigo.
set. Be camera focus, Paul. He's like, yo, Let's go. On camera.
Right.
This guy's Twitter feed going. And I'm like in the seat like this, motherfucker. We're in the space shuttle. You know, fucking coming in for a landing, you know? It's like,
go like this. He's like,
I'm like, and he's the greatest guy. He's a great focus puller. But I'm like, it's just, I'm on the edge of I have the throne, my own personal seat. It's like being in the cockpit, you know?
Right.
I
People
love that
always
seat. That
say,
shit
it's like,
comfortable. I be rolling around 7.
you do a big scene, no one knows what it's like. You know,
Right.
it's like, it's so technical. I can't. It's like I'm gonna tell you when it's right, when it's wrong, because I'm not getting caught holding the bag. That scene wasn't right. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Corey, how did you get on Ghost? Like, I want to know the story, like how you got, because I love when they put crew members on the show. Like, we had Sean Cassidy.
Yeah.
He
Sean
arrested
Cassidy
Michael.
arrested me.
He arrested Michael in that season 2
Happy birthday,
episode.
Sean.
Bro, when he was in the cop outfit, the whole crew was just clowning on him. He got a trailer. He went to hair and makeup. He was fucking with him.
Oh, you
so
bougie
much.
now. He was like, oh, yeah, you bougie now.
Right,
You
we're
got
like,
the
oh,
trailer.
you an actor now? Like,
Yes,
That shit
sir.
is
That's
fire.
Officer Murphy.
We did a big scene with you when you were in season 2. We did the big shootout scene.
Yeah.
right, when the
And
neck goes
And it's
hanging.
like pressure now because I got to keep this guy in focus.
Right.
And you're running away, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to be looked bad. It was a good scene, right?
Yeah,
I took
nah,
care of
nah,
you.
it was.
If I had
It
to
came out
default
fire, too.
to somebody
Yeah.
else, he was in focus, I always put you in focus first. I got you, bro. Yo, Mikey, I went over to pick up Corey, bro. I got to get a little something. I got to represent. Because I always felt I wanted you to succeed in being a
Absolutely.
good scene. It was a hard scene that we did. That was a hot warehouse.
Hot
'Cause
warehouse.
also,
Yo, and I'm wearing that
we
sweater.
And you was wearing that sweater,
moment I
carrying
understood.
guns.
Right.
you're not working
Yeah.
in like air-conditioned suite. Sometimes you're in
Hell
the
no.
subway. When we
Yeah.
worked on a show like Mr. Robot, we did like days in the subway.
Right.
On a subway car, we'd go out, you go back, and do like 6 stops, and you go back and forth. And the air down in the subway is tight.
Right.
It's kind of crazy. Almost like you start falling asleep after a while.
Yeah, nah, we,
It's fatiguing.
We was in the subway for a while doing a scene, doing
Yeah,
like a little action
it's
scene.
tough down there.
This season, that was tough.
I
But
mean,
how did McVay
Yeah,
come
I'm
about?
good, bro.
Jim's like, hey, man, I gotta remember this
Like,
too.
we
Hey,
gotta have
hey.
a-
He's like, I kept him sharp. That's how he got on. I was keeping him sharp.
That's how you
You know
succeed.
what I love too? I love because I have a certain amount of. I was a little Amari sometimes. I'm like, yo, when you come out the door. I say to Amari, even like recently, I told someone on set, I'm like, come out, look left. I'm gonna give you a nice still profile. I was always doing love. I wrote down, and me and Mari was tight. Right. Like, yo, second take, you nailed it. I love that shit. I love it.
we need a spin-off podcast. Crew has it, book 2, and it's just GF talking about every time he cuts someone sharp.
Kept him sharp.
And I would go with my wife and we
God.
would watch the show, and I'm like, hold on, the remote. Stop. Watch this. When Mikey said, stop, check this shit out. We were pushing on him. I'm like, look at that. She goes, give me the fucking remote. I ain't watching the show with you anymore. And you keep fucking stopping for watch it pull. Come down the street.
Yeah, I kept him sharp. I kept him sharp.
He's watching, he's like, hold on. Right here.
Wait.
Right here, look how he looks.
So we have tandem units sometimes, so we do the show, and then we did this episode. We'd have a tandem crew come in, and I'm like doing a scene, and we go, so I'm like, yo, fuck, that ain't me, bro. Tandem, that was not me. Who's on the call sheet? Who's the motherfucker at tandem? Fuck those motherfuckers, make me look bad. I'm like, shit, that fucked up. That's fucking They're fucking killing me. That's my ass on the line, on the credits. Godfather on the credits. They go, fuck that scene out. I knew it was my shit. I can turn around and went, no. I can turn around and go, fuck up. It goes out of focus for a little bit.
I want to hear this story, but I also want to hear what was the biggest fuck up in Power originally? Like, do you remember where there was ever like a big day where something happened that something got fucked up?
There's a couple 911s. Big fuck ups. I gotta think about that for a second. It was always-
Corey, tell your story about how you got on.
The big fuck up in Power
It was
was.
the fart machine, actually. That was the biggest one.
Really?
No, the other ones.
All right. I'm good.
Am I
sharp?
I'm going deep.
He's gonna go behind the camera and go, let me take over.
Hey, you're not having the
Yo.
right pause.
You fucking, go ahead, brother.
You just had me
But
crying,
it's like,
bro.
when you're pulling focus, it's like when you fucking, when you flying on a plane You're on JetBlue. You land. You don't ask the pilot. How was that? How'd you land the plane? So I told, well, you need another take. One more take. Yo, motherfucker, I'm flying the plane. You don't ask me what I do. I'm gonna keep it sharp. You land the plane from Miami. You don't go in the cockpit. Yo, how'd you land coming back to the airport? Put the flags down. Don't talk ass this shit. You just landed the plane. I'm like the pilot in the JetBlue flight. They're teaching me like that. So I'm gonna tell you if there's some turbulence. I'm gonna tell you if you're gonna land right. But just trust me. Trust me. You're gonna thank me in the edit.
Yo, bro, I'm sweaty, bro. Like,
Yo,
I've never laughed this hard in my life.
yo, I'm gonna keep it straight.
8-pack right now.
Yo, because we have to.
what's
You know what big act? I did a thing with Bruce Willis one time. Bruce Willis's double looks like his identical twin.
Right.
Brother. It was a cell phone commercial for some Italian company. He wasn't, Bruce Willis was like, I don't want to be here kind of shit. And it was like, we did a scene with him. I'm like, yo, man, this guy does not want to be in the shot. And we did this one scene where he had one line. He puts his head into a doorway. Wi-Fi? And he's gone. And it was the last shot of the day. His girlfriend's there waiting for him, about to wrap. And I knew the only way I'm going to get this thing in sharp is we roll, we slate, and we ask Mr. Willis to put your head in there and focus on the motherfucker. So I thought really quick on my feet because he's gone. The vapor trailer's already there. His girl's there. We're about last shot of the day. And I'm like, I roll camera. I go, so what we're going to do with AD? Get the camera, roll, slate, ask Mr. Willis, stick his head in. I'm going to sharp focus, and then we're going to go. So it's all right, roll camera. He goes, Mr. Willis, mind coming in? Why? What mark? I'm like, just fucking put your head in there. He put his head for a second, bowed out. Wi-Fi? I just grabbed him. And God. I was like, I got you, motherfucker. I got you. Not gonna fuck with me, bro. I got you.
I just grabbed you.
yo, nah, bro.
Yo, some dudes will. I got it.
Just grabbed him.
I just grabbed it. When you're a focus puller on a TV show, you gotta seize the moment. And when you rap, all right, check the gate. Bro, the crew was vapor gone. They're moving. So I always say, speak now. I had one assistant. He's like, we're doing a scene in a warehouse, tower. He's like, yo, I missed the walk. I'm like, yo, speak now, never hold your peace.
Right.
I remember back in the day when you have a film camera, you check the gate for any hair. Yo, checking that gate. I remember many times seeing the little hair in the gate, not saying nothing.
Right.
Just going home.
Right.
Like, fucking doing a big movie. And all of a sudden I'm sitting by the phone, looking by the phone all day like I'm getting the call.
Right.
There was a hair in the gate. Right. And you had to kind of know when to say what.
Right.
But even with big actors, like you have to know, come on set, I don't got it, we got to do it again. And someone will leave set, but you have to be enough of a professional to say, hold on,
right.
I got to figure shit out. Even still to this day, I got to plead my case to the AD. Yo, Rob, what? What's the problem? What's going on? What's going on? I'm like, yo, this... Roll camera again. And we're going to get it sharp. Right. But just give me a few minutes to figure what went wrong.
Rob, we can't give you another one.
We got to go. We got to
go.
Yeah, but it is crazy because like even the other night we had a giant scene and one of the cameras just wasn't working. We're like, we got to wrap in 3 minutes because Gianni needs to be in first thing, 12 hours. We got to force him in.
Right.
And they just couldn't do that shot, and that changes the whole dynamic of everything. Yeah. So it's like we don't got C camera. So C camera, go home. We just got A and B. We just got Gianni and Mike. So we got to make this work.
On one of the shows I worked on, we had this one director. It was a really technical show. And you do all these focus moves. It was like...
Joe, you've never been on a show that wasn't technical.
And it was like, I called it the hot potato show. It was a oneer.
Right.
And Mike comes down the hall. It wasn't Mike, it was another show. Comes down the hall, stops at the vestibule, leans forward, gets something, sits down, pushing. It was like, you don't want me to want to fucked up. Right. It was an extra was in the shot. The grip didn't push the dollar the right way. And it was like, you had to be... And this director was like, you do the whole scene, motherfucker,
right.
Godfather. I'm like, yo, so you didn't want to get called out.
Right.
You knew it was like you really had to get, because it would be somebody else that fucked up, not me.
Right.
It was the guy, it was the grip, it was somebody else. No, I had my shit together. Because I remember, I'd be driving home, the first shows I ever did, I had to make it in America. You'd be on LA, why didn't I ask for one more?
Right.
On the way home, that may have been bad. And that was actually film. But even the girls' TV show I worked on, it was a great show. It was loose. Right. It was fun. I like comedy because people laugh a lot. you're on our show once in a while, it's a little bit of comedy. Laughter always keeps the crew like nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. Yo, Mike's on his money. I don't have to. There's some acts. I had the gambler list,
right.
but I would do on our show to this day. I walk. I'm like.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Yo, let me get
I'll just take one, pass it down.
Yo, here you
pass
go.
it down.
I'll be on a show. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Keep it sharp.
I go, what's up? You know about the gambler list? Who's on the gambler list? Oh, that actor, that dude, gambler. But I mean by gambler, woke up to the mark and completely missed the mark.
Right.
So I had a list. I go, am I on the gambler list? I go, nah, you're cool. But there is a list.
I might be on
and
the
there's
gambler
no, you're cool. No, you're all right.
Am I in the gamble list?
Because I'm blind.
Nah,
so
you know,
like,
no, you're not a
some
gambler.
scenes I don't be
There's
wearing my
some dude
contacts.
that's the gambler.
I be having to, I be looking at it, and I walk back. I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
It's-
that's a mark. Because
yeah.
sometimes I got my contacts and I'll be blind. I can't see shit.
There's some dancing sometimes, and you gotta like, you gotta
fine,
acclimate
shit.
and shit. But we've had a lot of gambling.
Corey, I want to
So pretty much, GF is keeping me sharp.
And I'm feeling it more than even Mike. I'm like, yo, this is more pressure than number one. These motherfuckers all over the place. You're popping out, shooting guns.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, this is fucking gonna be crazy. If he's soft, you're never gonna speak to me ever again. You're never gonna use it.
He's like, there was this one thing, there was a bullet, and he's like, I racked to it. I racked to a bullet midair, and I went, I caught it. I caught that bullet, and I went back to Corey.
Yo, literally every time I came off set, GF was like, yo, bro, I had to choose between you and Woody. I chose you. I kept you sharp. They asked me to rack to Woody. I said, no, I'm keeping Corey sharp.
What I did even with Gary the other day, I sat next to him, just next to the director because it's a little too close to the fire. I was a little by myself because I hate motherfuckers moving around while I'm working. And it was a thing where, like, you know when it's right, when it's wrong. But I always, my whole deal and my whole sort of like philosophies, I always keep it light, joke between takes.
Right.
I do my best work when I'm happy.
Right.
Even on like Mr. Robot, if I would get angry because we didn't get a rehearsal, I come back to my monitor like pissed off. It would be a fucking disaster, airline disaster. It'd be all out of focus and shit.
Right.
But I remember I was next to Gary, so after a take, I have divisive ways of getting what I want.
Right.
And what I do is I do up a little sideshow, a comedy. So we do a take, and if I liked it, it was an Olive Garden special. Yo, Olive Garden special, dude.
Right.
It was great. And I throw a little marinara next to a little pecorino cheese. And this is actually my secret. I shouldn't tell this on live, but these are my secrets, you know. Just keep the crew distracted. Tell a few jokes. Meanwhile, I'm getting my focus marks to do the scene correctly. And I was next to Gary yesterday, and we did some scene in the hallway, and it was a tough scene, rack focusing around. And I go, yo, that was Papa John's. And he goes, what the fuck, Papa John? I go, yo, I need another one. I go, it wasn't an Olive Garden special, but it's a little diversion, a little joke, just to kind of keep them. You say something funny, or like even it was great. The AD Rob was like, "It's so fucking loud in here, I can't even think." I'm like, "That's really good," you know. And the whole crew laughed. Just keep people on their toes and keep it light, you know, and not. But there are some scenes where you can't say shit. Like there's some like really buttoned up, like very emotional scenes where you know someone's gonna cry or some shit like that.
Right.
And that's when you really gotta keep the shit sharp. Yo, the teardrop comes down. Yo, I'm like, I go into like DEFCON 1. Yo, we're gonna engine out, right engine down the JetBlue. I'm like, tears coming down. Yo, we better keep that shit sharp. Pushing on Mary, someone like that, you gotta get that shit.
He's like, I pushed right in on the tier, and I got the tier in front. Okay, good. I racked right back.
Yeah, I'm good. But you know, when people drop the emotion, you got to be there too, because that's a
Right.
really magic moment sometimes.
Right.
And you know what? You want to leave the scene feeling good that you had something that was really special and shit.
Right.
But you know, sometimes there was one scene we were doing Power.
GF.
Corey, all that's been cut. Every story GF just told has been cut. Like, what was the process? We'll close on this. We got to have you guys back for another episode because this is fucking crazy. Yeah, how did you get on it from originally just working on the show?
Okay, so this is a long story, and I've never told it in
Can we
entirety.
unplug Geoff's mic for this story real quick?
Please unplug GF, please.
It's not about focus, right? It ain't about focus. Yo, take it easy.
All right, sorry, Corey.
Hit it up.
When I first started working on the shoot crew for Power, my best friend at the time, like literally like a month before, my best friend at the time died. You know what I'm saying? I never talk about this, but I'm gonna tell the full story. He ended up committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? This is my childhood best friend, Mac, R.I.P., rest in peace. And you know, a month later, I got the call to work on Power, and that was my favorite show. So you know what I'm saying? It was like the only bright light in my life at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in a real dark place when I started. So, you know, I ended up, you know, we had to do a funeral and everything, and I met this dude, Gary Lennon. He used to be executive producer. I met him in the lobby of Steiner, and I had been following Gary on Instagram. So I was like, what's up, Gary? Corey, I've been following you on Instagram. He's like, okay, he follows me on Instagram. And then I had posted a GoFundMe because, you know, I was paying for my best friend's funeral costs out of pocket. So Gary donates to the GoFundMe, and then I run into him in the bathroom. Like, I just walk into the bathroom one day, and for some reason, I knew he was in there, in the store. So I'm in the bathroom, looking in the mirror. Gary walks out, and then he's like, hey, man, you know, I'm really sorry to hear about your best friend. You know, what happened? And I told him. I wasn't telling nobody what happened, but I told him. And he was like, hey, you know, I can relate. My brother committed suicide when I was your age, too. So, you know, we had kind of connected over that. And then, you know, I was just grinding, regular shit. Nobody really knew me on set. I was just working. But then one day I was on set, Gary looked at me and he was like, what do you really want to do in this business? And I turned around, I was like, I want to act. He was like, oh, really? You want to act? He was like, you know, you have a great look. He's like, you really would be perfect for, like, Lakeisha's baby father or something, right? He's like, if you're down, you know, send me your email. I'm going to hook you up with casting, you know, audition. So that was my first time auditioning. I auditioned for that. I auditioned for one more role. None of those roles went my way. But I auditioned twice for Power Season 6. Didn't get it. But then I was just still working on set. And then I think I was carrying like a big-ass mambo, and then Courtney stopped me. And she was like, hey, kid, come here. Dean was next to her. She was like, this is Dean. He's one of my other producers here. She's like, I saw your audition tape. It was fire. I loved it. I loved the look, everything. You know, we went a different direction with that, but I definitely want to do something with you in one of the spinoffs. So then I was like, okay, you know, I come back to Ghost Season 1, still like, these are words, but nothing concrete has happened. And but Gary didn't come back to Ghost. So that Gary was really like my guy. He knew like my backstory a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Gary didn't come back. So you know, there I am. I'm working. Pandemic hits. Still nothing. Come back to Ghost Season 2. Still nothing. Just working. And then one day on set, randomly, and to be honest, that day I got so fucked up the night before. I don't know if I was with you. I don't know what it was, but the night before, bro, the night before this, I got so fucked up. I was hung over on set, like the deadest I've ever been. Remember that, KB? And then Shanna.
We was in Jersey. We was in Jersey the night
yeah,
before.
we was lit.
We was in Jersey the night before.
Real shit. So then this day, Deshaun, our second AD, he's reading the off-camera lines.
Shout out to Deshaun, man.
Shout out to Deshaun.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
He's
Love
reading
him.
the off-camera lines, but so monotone. He's like, hey,
Right.
Yeah.
hey, guys, go. Just go in the door, and like
Right.
mad monotone. So then Shanna's like, we need somebody to give it to him. We need... Corey, you're an actor, right? And I'm like, half sleep, huh? You're an actor, right? Read the off-camera lines. So I start reading the off-camera lines, you know, and
I walked over to you. Not about focus. Not about focus.
Wait, hold on, please. Yeah, please.
He's like, I remember the front show.
Fucking mic is on.
Back to him during the off-camera line.
No, it's fucked up.
Speaking of off-camera lines, so I was doing Mr. Robot Season 1.
Okay, so let me finish the story. So I started reading the off-camera lines, and you know, everybody just started buzzing after that. It was like, yo, whose voice was that? Like, that actually sounded good. GF came up to
Silky.
me. He was like, yo, you got a voice. Yo, that sounded good.
Exactly,
Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And then everybody on the crew just started saying like, yo, why isn't he in the show? He should be in the show. He's from Queens, right? Da-da-da-da-da. And Shanna was directing, right? So then Shanna was like, give me your email. Once again, she took my email. And then she was like, yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. And Charlie, our other focus puller, he was right there. She's like, we're going to do
Don't
something.
say that word, please.
No, focus. Every time they focus on this show, he's gonna be bleeping. Yo, I'm gonna see that chopped out this fucking. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Jeff. Take it easy, bro. Too much sauce, bro. Too much marinara. The recipe's crazy. So Charlie was right there. She pretty much said like, yeah, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna get you in the show. So, you know, I get the audition. I read for it. It was just like Mecha Soldier number 1 or whatever.
Right.
You know, it was just one sentence in the audition. I read it, whatever. I directed, what was that? Episode 6 and then 8. So then, you know, another episode goes by, you know, still nothing at this point. Then I got, you know, an offer from casting. You know, they just sent it through. And now, and my boy Jules ended up writing, you know, Julian, the writer. He was writing. That's my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Jules. So he was the writer. So he ended up, you know, like saucing up the character and shit. Like seeing like, oh, it's Corey that's gonna play this character.
Right.
So, you know, he got a name, all of this good shit. But when I booked it, I didn't tell anybody. Like, I didn't tell anybody. I think I just told KB
You
probably.
just told me.
I didn't tell nobody else. So when Shanna's next episode came on, this is the episode that I was gonna debut in, you know, she said, oh, my next episode, you know, I'll get you on, whatever. So we're on there. Then Charlie, he's like, yo, didn't Shanna, he comes up to me, he's like, didn't Shanna say that she was gonna put you in an episode? Didn't she say that? I was like, yeah, she did say that. He was like, so what happened? I was like, yo, I don't know, because I was just keeping it on the low. He said, fuck that. Shanna was in the room. He walked into the room and said, Shanna, didn't you say you were going to put Corey in an episode? Like, this is a focus bullet walking up to the executive producer. She was like, didn't you say you were going to put Corey in an episode?
That's
and
cool.
she was like, Charlie, he's in the show. He's like, what? And then he walked up to me. He was like, you fucker. I could have lost my job. I'm like, bro, I didn't know you were going to fucking do that. And then ever since then, I fuck with Charlie hard body because he was like riding for me. Facts. And that's how McVeigh became McVeigh.
Did everyone fuck with you when you came to set? Was everyone
Bro,
like...
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because I didn't have any scenes. I don't think, did you have a scene with him either?
Yeah, we had
right,
in the finale.
We had the shootout scene.
Right, but bro, I can't imagine, because we fuck with each other so much on set, I can't imagine what that day was like. I wish I went to set.
Bro, it was,
That day was crazy.
It was definitely torture because everybody's fucking with me. You know, I go through wardrobe. They're fucking with me. I'm getting my hair cut. They're fucking with me.
To see you get your bump. It was important because everyone wants to have do your thing you want to do.
Everyone wants to see you.
But
But
they
Sharp as
did
attack,
support me
motherfucker,
like
too, when you
crap.
saw the episode.
Right.
The shit was on the money. I guess say one last thing, that a lesson I learned on social media is Joe Sikora doing, you know, Force up in Chicago.
Right.
You gotta be careful with social media because the reality of the show, people think they're gonna close this shit up. But anyway, you gotta be careful because people do believe these characters are real, which is fine. I get all that. God bless everybody. You know, Michael and all those characters, but. He had a post about this Italian chef he has up there. You know, Joe Sikora, I'm in Chicago on Ford. My chef up here. You know, so and so cooks the greatest food for us. And of course, I remark comment. Yo, man, no Olive Gardens up there in Chicago. Yo, the comment's like, yo, fuck him up. Don't think his shit, Tommy. I'm like, yo, hate me out for the Godfather. I'm like, yo, I gotta be careful next time. He's saying no. And that Tommy, not Joe Sikora, Tommy.
Right.
Tommy, fuck him up. Tommy, let's get this motherfucker.
Right.
Who's this guy?
Yo, GF. All right, let me finish this story.
Sorry, bro.
Please, it's almost done though.
No more focus, just finish your story.
Yeah. No, we're gonna get to the focus part though.
All right.
But so the crew was very supportive, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the first time, I guess, like, you know, a crew member really made it onto like a role, you know, like a recurring role for that season. So everybody was really supportive. You know, I did the role. That first day was crazy in the hangar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had the scenes with Woody.
Fire.
Mecca. This shit was crazy, bro. This shit was crazy. It was like a dream come true. But it was like, I felt like I kind of always knew that was destined. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was always being from Queens and everything, how it played out, it was meant to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Facts.
Fuck yeah, bro. We're so proud of you. We're so happy, like, with all you guys. It's just, we have so much fun. We're definitely gonna do another episode with you guys. Like, we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's gonna love this one. So,
Definitely.
plug whatever you guys have, your social medias, any businesses, anything. Plug it all. This is your time. Godfather, just plug that the sharpness on that.
Yo, check out the Black River Band. Some cool music from all the years I worked in the film industry. I have a bunch of original songs you want to check out.
Hell yeah.
The Black River Band. I'll play if you're burning down. Nice. Sharpness rules. No, I'm just that's my thing. That's my side business.
Fire.
Corey?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
And it's been a pleasure working with you guys too.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
At King Corey the First on Instagram. Follow at Amrak Series. At the Hoods Hollywood.
You got a show that you're directing yourself.
Yeah, I have
coming
a
up.
show that I'm directing and producing. And I'll make an appearance in there as well. The pilot's
all that
already
shit.
done. You know what I'm saying? I shot that with my boy JL. Shot that. You know, he shoots all 5E, all the drill music. So we got some dope, a dope series coming out. You know, it's based on the law of karma. You know, it's based in Queens, so it's something that the fans would definitely enjoy.
Love that. Love
cool.
that. KB?
I'm just KB. I'm just
not
the
with
mayor
Cal?
of Ghosts. That's
You
it.
got
No.
any side ventures you want to plug?
I'm in real estate. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So buy from him.
Real
I guess.
estate and crypto, you
Real
heard?
estate and crypto. That's me. But,
Bingus.
I'm actually making money from his other crypto right now.
Word?
Yeah. But I'm not keeping it though. I pulled it all out.
We fumbled that.
Huh?
And the Benz, the
And
black
the Benz,
Come
Black
on, bro.
Benz, Black Benz Club.
Mikey?
Yeah. Instagram, Michael Rainey Jr. Where's 22, TikTok Where's 22, Twitter, all of that. Yeah, we here. Crew has it, baby.
Yeah, we
Gang,
outside.
at Gianni VPO. Follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to get that milli. I'm trying to get that
Give him
milli.
to a
I'm
million.
close.
Give him to a million.
I'm close. So
I'ma
at
delete my
Gianni
TikTok.
VPO, TikTok, Instagram. Mike, give us one.
My voice is still shot. I don't know.
You guys want to give us the crew has it?
The crew fucking has it. The crew has it. The crew has it.
The crew
You
has
crazy?
it.
The crew has it. Ice Motel. Keep them shot.
There's a series coming out on Netflix on Stars.